deep within the rotten veil, it sleeps. A mysterious monster, so vile, all others scatter when it awakens. The commander of death itself. Beware, the Vaal Hazak.
I don't think I've ever been this deep in the Vaal before. Whoa, what happened to this gyros? Oh boy, here we go. Oh, hell no. Professor?
Yes, Solana?
Can you believe this? They sent me into the Rotten Veil not knowing what to expect. And you know what I found?
Dead things?
Yes, but then the dead things started moving. Why are there zombie gyros? And why is there a giant dragon wearing dead carcasses like a wedding dress?
Oh my. Well, that is alarming.
Who do I talk to about this thing? I need to know more about it.
Well, you know how I study the Coral Highlands and Professor Platinum studies the ancient forest? I could take you to the expert on the Rotten Veil.
Yes, please. Let's go.
Good afternoon, Poca. What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm doing a rotation with Professor Ferrum. I can't wait for it to be over. I'll be happy if I never have to go back to this smelly veil ever again.
I'm just glad you're getting some field time. You will learn a lot here. Is Professor Ferrum in?
Yes, he's in his study. This way.
Good afternoon, Professor Ferrum. I've brought with me a hunter who has an inquiry for you. Solana Loon, Professor Ferrum of the Rotten Veil.
Yes, I'm very busy, so do make this quick.
I was sent into the Rotten Veil and discovered this monster I had never seen before. I was wondering if you could tell me about it?
And which monster would that be? Radoban, Great Gyros?
No, neither of those. This was a large dragon that wore dead carcasses as a veil, and the air around it felt like it was choking the life out of me.
What? You faced off with the Vaal Hazak and lived? Now you have my attention.
Vaal Hazak? What can you tell me about it?
Vaal Hazak is an elder dragon, very powerful. It stands 221 centimeters tall. Though it is weak to the fire element and dragon element, it does not deal any elemental damage itself. Instead, it utilizes a unique affliction called effluvium, a presence abundant within the depths of the Rotten Veil.
Effluvium? What is that?
Ah, that is one of the great mysteries of the New World, and it is the key to understanding the Vaal Hazak. There is much debate on what effluvium actually is. Is it a bacteria, a virus, or simply a chemical gas? Is it made within the Vaal Hazak, or is it simply a symbiotic byproduct of the rotten biome?
Well, which one is it? A virus, a bacteria, or a gas?
Oh, well, none of them actually. I mean, how do I explain this to a hunter?
Excuse me?
Poco, get me specimen T. gondii.
Yes, Professor.
This is Toxoplasma gondii, a single-celled organism. Not a bacteria, Not a virus, just a simple eukaryote. I believe this to be the closest real-world analog to what effluvium is. Toxoplasma gondii is a parasite that aims to infect animals in the feline family, so watch out for your palicos. When an infected cat defecates, it leaves behind eggs of the parasite, and when a rodent comes by and happens to eat those eggs, they become infected with immature versions of the parasite. These rodents are referred to as immediate hosts. While infected, the parasite triggers a string of chemical reactions that turn these rodent hosts into better prey for the cats. The pests lose their aversion to feline urine, a usual powerful deterrent for rodents. Their brain activity becomes depressed, and when it comes time for them to be preyed upon, they don't fight back. They don't make attempts to preserve their lives. They become food for the cats, transferring the parasite back to them, the definitive hosts, where it can grow and mature and restart the cycle.
That's disgusting.
But fascinating. How does this compare to the effluvium in Vaal Hazak?
Poco, yet...
Already ahead of you, Professor.
Thank you. This is a sample of the atmosphere within the rotten veil. Along with the toxic gas from the decay, there is also an organism floating around that I have named Toxoplasma effluvia. Mature organisms have powerful necrotic capabilities and secrete chemicals that speed up the decay of dead tissue. They hatch from their ova inside of the Vaal Hazak, the immediate host. As it exhales, the parasites fill the air within the rotten Vaal. When any other monster inhales the effluvium, the parasites infect them. As the parasites eat them from the inside out, they secrete a serotonin blocker in the brain of its host, making it act more aggressive towards other creatures.
But that's not exactly what I noticed when I encountered those gyros. They were aggressive towards me, but when Vaal Hazak appeared, they just sat there and got the life sucked out of them.
Well, yes. That's because of the second behavior-manipulating chemical they secrete. Kynurenic acid, the chemical that turns rodents into willing prey for cats. In this case, the gyros respond to a pheromone emitted by the Vaal Hazak. When they detect said pheromone, they become submissive, easy prey for the Vaal Hazak. After the pheromone is secreted, it is carried by the veil of carrion it wears.
And so how does Vaal Hazak complete the cycle?
Vaal Hazak releases another pheromone that triggers the effluvium to release their eggs, which causes extreme respiratory distress in the hosts. Then, with a powerful inhalation, it draws in the ova right from the hosts as their lives are sucked out of them.
How does the release of microscopic eggs cause enough respiratory distress to kill a monster?
I'll let Poco explain this one, as she did well in figuring this out.
Oh. Okay, working with Professor Platinum has gotten me pretty familiar with toxins, which is what allowed me to recognize the effects here and pinpoint what's happening. As Toxoplasma effluvia release their ova, they also secrete a toxin called palytoxin. This is a very deadly toxin that causes very acute respiratory episodes and can quickly lead to death. So while their lungs are exploding, the ova are released from the host.
Well done, Poco.
Thanks!
What benefit does Vaal Hazak get from allowing the effluvia to inhabit it?
Despite the fact that they grant Vaal Hazak a deadly weapon at will, they also serve a secondary role, a sort of combat medic. The effluvium ova release a psychotropic chemical that creates a euphoric effect for the Vaal Hazak. So when the Vaal Hazak has taken damage in battle, it sucks in effluvium, is rejuvenated, and ready to continue fighting.
Wait, it gets high on effluvium?
Why not? Evolutionarily, that would ensure the Vaal Hazak would want to continue this relationship. Now are we done here?
No? How is it that the effluvium doesn't affect Vaal Hazak? At some point, it would have to inhale the infectious stage of the effluvium.
The internal environment is suited for the effluvium to hatch from their eggs and live in their immature state. But when they mature, they develop antigens that the Vaal Hazak has antibodies against. Its immune system recognizes a mature effluvium cell and destroys it. It's just not a hospitable environment at that point. Now then, Hunter, I have to get back to work if you don't mind. Argentum, I'll see you at the next commission meeting. Come, Reynolds.
Yes, thank you for your time, Professor.
I guess I'll go get ready to take this thing down. Ugh, here goes nothing.
You've got this, Solana. And keep up the good work, Poco.
Thanks! See you later!